Sony patents gambling and betting platforms for eSports. You heard that right. This is brought to us from DualShockers.com. Sony has been quite active in the eSports industry lately. Earlier this year, Sony Interactive Entertainment acquired the Evolution Championship Series, one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in gaming, which is better known as EVO. The acquisition came with the collaboration with RTS, Endeavor's new esports venture, and started a new chapter for the fighting game community. Now it seems like Sony has more plans to expand the esports industry. According to Vita Extra, Sony Vita, V-I-D-A, not V-I-T-A.
Oh.
Sony has filed a patent for an esports betting platform. The patent has been filed by Michael Chow, who is the machine learning engineer at PlayStation R&D, according to his LinkedIn profile. I'm not going to give you the same techno babble that I gave you for the other segment earlier this evening. So here's the breakdown. The platform will be giving players the probability of winning a particular bet based on data from the past. I don't know what that means. I don't. It's like are they saying based on a certain competitor's history of winning? Like this is your chance to put the bet on them? I don't know. I think that's kind of how
a fancy way of saying what the odds are.
Yeah. It also states that the odds can be determined parimutuel. What? That's a big word. I'm going to have to Google that word as well. Which is a betting term implying the division of gains amidst the winning bettors. I don't spend enough time in Las Vegas and Atlantic City, so I really have no idea. What does it make? All I want to do is say, hey, this person might win this match. I'm putting money on him. That's all I want to do. There are a few interesting things to note as well. The inclusion of non-pecuniary wagering proposes hints towards the fact that players might get a chance to bet in-game items. Okay, so now it's starting to sound like like it's not really money that's always at stake here, but who knows? It's quite common in many esports titles out there, such as Counter-Strike Go. While Sony seems to have quite ambitious plans for the future, this move might not be well received by the community. As we all know, loot boxes and microtransactions have been heavily scrutinized in the gaming industry. I mean, hell, EA is catching all sorts of lawsuits right now in Canada, the European territories, and some of the Eurasian territories as well. So there's that. And Sony's arrival in the betting and gambling scene seems to make this whole thing even worse. That being said, a large number of patents fail to turn into a reality, so this doesn't confirm whether this plan will be put into action. Alright, so here's the question for you guys tonight. With the tech industry always seeming to pioneer changes in the way we do things in our daily lives, will the opening of active betting and gambling in esports become the next big game changer in competitive gaming? And I'm even going to expand that to a certain degree. Will this be the step to more or less legalize gambling overall for all types of sports and gaming events? What do you say?
Well, this kind of reminds me of FanDuel.
Oh yeah.
That's what it kind of reminds me of, because it's like legal gambling, but a lot of times you're not using real currency. You're kind of using credits or other things. And I don't know exactly how FanDuel works, but that's become such a popular form of gambling, on your phone or on your computer. So I liken it as just esports becoming bigger now, and it's like, okay, how can we bet on this now? There's the other side of sports where it's like, okay, how can we make money off of this? So it's just basically the tech catching up to esports now, and Sony grabbing a significant pot of it, because fighting game tournaments are probably the most popular esports events right now, as opposed to watching Overwatch leagues and Counter-Strike leagues.
As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the top rankings for how esports goes is fighting games, Overwatch, StarCraft, and then racing games. Because I did not notice until I did some research on it, but there's Gran Turismo is part of an esports. It's part of an esports event.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Oh yeah.
It is part of the Olympics coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I don't think this will affect betting in general because the fact that gambling isn't legal everywhere in America has just surprised me every day. Just because it's money, it's another way to make money. Why is it not? FanDuel is a little different. So FanDuel, the way it works is you think of like a bunko game or like poker game that you're playing with your friends. So all the money that you bet is being dispersed among the people that you're betting against, whereas you're not betting against an actual business.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah,
I think that's the reach around to where because there's two different FanDuels. FanDuel 1 where you can bet, but you can only bet where you bet games. You can bet point over under on points, but it's only in certain states. Whereas the fantasy duel where you can pick different players with different salary caps and try to get as much fantasy points. Though that money is getting putting into, and then you split the pot amongst all the people that go into it. So I think that's how they get around it. I don't know all the rules, but I do FanDuel, the fantasy one, because it's not legal here in Oklahoma, but that one is, and so I think that's how they get around it. And all sports have people watching them when people are allowed to bet on them. Like there's betting on golf, and when sports went down, people bet on the weather. So that was a big deal. Like on DraftKings and FanDuel, like people were betting on like, will it be in the mid 80s?
Wait. So you're talking about when COVID first hit and basically like all the leagues got suspended. That's what happened?
Yeah, so like on DraftKings, they'll be like, all right, in Dallas, is it the high going to be 75 to 78, 79 to 82? And then and you do that for multiple cities, like try to figure out the weathers and stuff. And I remember entering like some free ones because, they're free. Why not? I don't know the weather, but I actually won I think 25 cents on one just because it was free. And I was just put it in there. I was like, why not? So, people will bet on anything.
That's true.
So I think you get more eyes, more people watching when that happens. And I mean, I like watching the Overwatch League. That's the only one that I'm into in any form or fashion, but
I like watching Overwatch, and I like watching StarCraft.
Yeah, I don't think I've never even played StarCraft. So I've never.
CS:GO is too chaotic for me. I do back when Team Fortress was a thing though. I used to love watching those too.
Oh yeah, I like Team Fortress. That's why Overwatch clicked with me. It's just because I love Team Fortress so much.
Yep.
I like watching racing because it's funny when I follow F1, and a lot of those guys during the pandemic they started driving their own avatars and their own cars in the game, and just the struggles that they would have with it, and they would just be like, this isn't like driving a real car, but it's like it's kind of funny how you take the wheel, you take the actual car out of the hands of the driver, and then put them in a video game. It's like musicians playing Guitar Hero. They just can't do it. So
that was a big thing for NASCAR when they shut down, and it actually NASCAR started its own eSports league just because, and it's actually pretty big. It's actually got its following. So, because I'll straight up I follow quite a bit of NASCAR. I don't watch every race, but I'd like to keep in touch. And I'll scroll through Twitter and see a video. And I'm like, wait, is that real NASCAR or is it the video game NASCAR? I have to do a double take every time I see it.
Yeah.